You want to get your mic going? Let me know.
I'm here, broski. I'm here.
Let's do it.
Loud and clear. What's up, motherfuckers?
Let's get
Let's have
some
a good
great news.
time. 1 a.m., 1 a.m. Somebody's up at 1 a.m. ready to make that money, ready to get that value, ready to level up in life. So let's get this shit going, brother.
Sure. So to get started, Luke, I don't want to, paint your picture for you, but for anyone who doesn't know you, probably most of the people in here do. You want to give me like not an elevator pitch, but an elevator introduction about yourself, kind of similar to yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Luke Belmar. I come from Argentina, small little town of 19,000 people. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a little rural town that most people have never heard of. At the age of 17, or about 8 years ago, I came to the US with a suitcase and $200, ready to make the dream come true, because I realized that the current situation that I was in, whether it was my parents or my friends, it wasn't destined for greatness. And I was right, because most of my friends from back in the day have never made it out. So I had a decision to make. I had a decision whether I was going to risk it and elevate myself to a complete new level. And when I realized is that I didn't really have to risk anything, because I had nothing to lose. So I went for it. I asked my uncle, who was a pilot, for a flight, because of course, when you're a pilot or a flight attendant, you get your free tickets. And he put me on the little flight attendant seats in front of first class. There I was with $200 in my suitcase, ready to take on the fucking world. I arrived in New York. I started washing dishes, started what is it, the pressure washing streets. I cleaning toilets, washing dishes, cooking, waiting tables, everything that I could do to make it. At that moment, I didn't know anything about money. I didn't know anything about what I was going to do. At that moment, my mindset was a very straightforward mindset. My mindset was that of going to university, going to college, because that's what I knew, right? That is when you come from a different country, that's what you know. You go to university, and then from university, you get into a situation where nobody thinks what's next, right? Nobody thinks about their careers. Nobody thinks about anything. It's just, how do I get to university? So I get to university, I drop out because that was bullshit. And the reason I knew it was bullshit, I get to my international business class, and this dork starts talking, this moron starts talking. He has like his hair split to the side. I'm like, bro, this guy cannot be an international business entrepreneur. Like, this makes zero fucking sense. So at the end of the first class, he's talking about like macroeconomics or some shit. And I go to him and I ask him one simple question. I said, how many countries have you been to? He's like, well, I never left the US, but I've done. I'm like, oh, I literally went to the the office where you get all your classes changed and that shit. I said, drop this shit. I'm not learning from this kind. So anyways, I was super upset because I come from nothing. I'm paying $400 per credit. It's a 3-credit class. I'm paying $1,200 a semester for a class. And this is when I had nothing. I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings, couldn't pay for rent. I was basically a peasant. I was somebody's bitch, begging for tips at 2 a.m. from these ghetto hood dudes that wouldn't tip me for shit. I'm like, I'm not going to make it this way. Like, I'm not going to make it. At that moment, I was sleeping in my car. It was a Buick that my grandmother had gifted me, an old little Buick. And that was the beginning of my journey. I did door-to-door sales. That was the first job that I did out of university. And I was knocking on doors. I was knocking on doors in Tennessee, trying to sell books in the summer, right? In the summer, that's what I was doing, because I didn't have any education. I didn't know how to get out, and I just wanted to make a ton of money. At the end of that first summer, I made $15,000 selling door to door in Butt Crack, Tennessee, and I was like, okay, if I can sell books, I can do whatever the fuck I want. So I go to the dean of my university, and at that moment, I wanted to be I wanted to work in the media, right? I wanted to work in the news outlet, shit like that, right? So I go to him. I was like, hey, what do I have to do to be a news anchor? What do I have to do to work in kind of like Fox News or one of these outlets? All of them are bullshit, by the way. And he's like, well, you don't have the right qualifications or the right credits or the right acumen, because you got an 8 out of 10 in this class. You got a 6 out of 10 in this class. I didn't give a fuck about school, even though I was paying a ton of money for it. And he was like, well, you're not qualified. I said, bitch, what makes you think I got to be qualified? I'm still going to get that shit. send out a couple emails, send out a couple LinkedIn messages. Within two weeks, I have a job at the Washington Post, obviously. And so I make my way to Washington, D.C. in my car, my little old Buick, make my way up to Washington, D.C. This is, I think, the year 2015. And I land there. I'm staying at a buddy's house on an inflatable mattress. And he's like, well, you got 2 weeks. You got to find a job because obviously this job isn't going to pay you very well right off the bat. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. So I go and start working at a restaurant, working 2 restaurant jobs. And then my car breaks down because I had an accident. My car wasn't working. So I had to commute. I had to commute for 2 reasons. The first reason, I couldn't afford to pay the bills on my car. And when I did get it fixed, I couldn't afford the parking in Washington, D.C., right? I couldn't afford the parking. So I was like, okay, sounds good. I guess I'm just going to sit in this free parking spot right outside of Washington, D.C. When I do drive in, I'll just sleep in my car. I'll shower at Planet Fitness. And if I ever need to commute to work, I'll just take the bus for 2 hours and then I'll take the metro for 30 minutes. So I was commuting 5 hours a day to make tips and to work at the Washington Post, which, by the way, as soon as I walk into the Washington Post, this motherfucker comes to me and tells me, you're the intern. You got to listen to what I say. I'm like, bro, you're a fucking 50-year-old man fighting with a teenager. I turned around, got up and left. I never walked back into that place. They didn't even want to pay for my fucking parking. So I was like, all right, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And I just continued working my slave job, waiting tables. At that moment, I'm in my teens and a fellow server hits me up and he's like, hey, like, I started making money in stocks. This was before any of you guys could, you knew any of the stock shit, before any of that stuff, right? I'm in a situation where somebody exposes me to the stock market. This is when Tesla was like $125. And the next day he comes to me, he's like, have you heard about Bitcoin? I'm like, wait, what's Bitcoin? I'm like, that shit's expensive. It's $400. I'm like, damn, that shit's expensive. Because I would make, like $100, $150, $200 in tips that day. And I couldn't afford a whole lot. At that moment, I was also starting e-commerce because my brother kind of got me into e-com. And what we would do is the tips that we would receive that day, we would go to Wells Fargo, go to the bank. I remember it very vividly. We would deposit the money. Half of the money would go to Bitstamp. We would buy Bitcoin very cheap. And then the other half would be our ad spend for the next day, right? So this is before, the tracking pixel was popular, before any sort of 3PL for e-commerce and logistics was popular. It was very much bare bones. You could, of course, run a picture ad and it would convert extremely well. But the point is, the money that I was making, I wasn't flexing. I wasn't out here saving it. I was investing it into myself. All of it, every single penny, I was reinvesting. So here you have a teenager working 2 waiting jobs, sleeping in his car, showering at Planet Fitness or whatever the gym was that I went to. And then in the evening, I would deposit my cash, do e-commerce with the ad revenue, and half of it would go to Bitstamp, an old ass exchange. I don't even know if people use it anymore to buy Bitcoin. It was a big fiasco. Mm-hmm. Then 2017 rolls around. I get a pretty substantial cut of, or a pretty substantial boost in my net worth because crypto has that 2017 bull run. I was buying Cardano at a penny, right? I was buying Cardano at a penny and then went to $1.60. So, you put in $1,000, it was 160 grand. So you guys understand kind of like I've been making money for a long ass time. And what I realized was, okay, I need to double down on making more money. So we really doubled down on e-commerce and started printing. Now, the big problem that I had in 2017 was that I made the big mistake of listening to everybody. I was listening to the mistake of crypto's always going to go up. Everything's always going to do well. I bought into the moon boy kind of mentality. We had Pompeo saying, dude, hodl. We had diamond hands this bull run. Last bull run was like the hodl bull run. And this guy, through his firm, he was selling his Bitcoin while telling us motherfuckers to buy. And that's when I realized I got to learn this shit. I got to do it on my own. I can't be relying on some bullshit Forex algo to trade. I can't be relying on some guru to tell me some tactic in e-commerce. I really got to figure this shit out because I got beat up like most of you guys this bull run because you're newbies. Next bull run, you'll do extremely well. But what happened to me in 2017 was I lost most of my money. I lost most of everything. And the reason I lost most of everything was because I listened to the masses and I didn't learn how to create wealth, multiply wealth, but more importantly, which is something very few of you guys have learned, was to preserve wealth. And if you understand how to preserve wealth, then your net worth isn't going to do this. And if you guys do something that is valuable after the stream, do the following thing. Chart your net worth over the last couple of years. Chart it. Like actually like envision charting. Like what did your net worth look like over the last 2-3 years? And then when your net worth dips, figure out what caused the dip in your net worth, right? And don't look at the mistake, but look at the lesson and remember the lesson. So what was my lesson in 2017? One is I need to make a ton of money so that I can deploy into the markets. And whenever everybody gets hysteric about buying is when you sell. Fast forward 2020, I made tens of millions of dollars in e-commerce. Shout out to Stephen Evan Tan for really inspiring me in that process. And I put every single dollar of my net worth into crypto. Every single dollar. I was down to like $600 in my bank account. It was 2020. And I think it was March of 2020. I was smoking a joint. I had rented like a villa down in Florida while everybody was masked up, freaking out. I had predicted and told people that lockdowns were going to happen. It was obvious. And it hit us. And the Black Swan event came, and I'm out here buying XRP at 10 cents, buying tens of thousands of dollars of Ethereum, sub $80. It's on my stories. You guys can go and cross-reference the dates. It's on my highlights. I posted it publicly every single day, 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand, every single day. Ethereum, Bitcoin. I remember buying ADA on, what is it? Bittrex. I had Bittrex orders placed of like $10,000 at a penny, and all of them filled, all the orders filled. So I was like, okay, now I'm going to sit on this and hopefully like it works. So it does work, obviously. And the next trend was, okay, I need to not bet just on products. I need to bet on winners. I need to bet on winning people. So who was the biggest winner for me in 2017? It was a guy by the name of CZ. A guy by the name of CZ. I remember buying Binance token BNB at $2 in 2017, a lot of it. And it went up to like 600. So I was like a 300x return. It was really good. And in 2020, I was like, I'm going to bet on CZ. So we get on Clubhouse, and I hop on Clubhouse, and I get invited into a lobby where CZ's talking. And this was pre-DeFi going crazy, pre-Safe Moon, pre-shit coins. And he starts
wait, Luke, I don't want you to answer all my questions too much. You know, you can
okay,
save some of the info, you know.
All right, so that all right. So that's the background. All right, there you go.
That's a great background. That's a great elevator.
I was about to give you guys the whole sauce, but whatever. All right, run that shit.
No, listen. I want you to give out the sauce, but I definitely got some stuff. And
all right. I was about to give you guys the whole fucking monologue, bro, but whatever. Let's run that shit.
I know, Luke, you're used to like the monologue, but like obviously that's extremely valuable info. But let's get into some like little things. I definitely have some questions I want to ask you, and I think this can be beneficial. And like let's talk about it.
By the way, fuck Clubhouse. They banned me twice, bitches.
Okay, continue. Fuck Clubhouse. So you're talking about all this stuff, right? But let me say something. It takes a certain person to do those things, right? That whole progress you did. So I want to ask you, like in a simple way, what makes you different than the average man?
Nothing.
Okay, you want to explain?
Nothing makes me different because the average man has nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The only thing that I had was I had a goal. Most of you motherfuckers are walking around like an accident. So when you have a goal, you know what you want, you pursue it. Most of you guys wake up like accidents. You don't know what you want. You don't know where you're going. No wonder you're fucking lost. Oh, Luke, I'm lost. Give me some advice. Pick a fucking goal, any goal, whatever it is. Just pick one goal, and then don't pick another 100 other things that are going to negate that goal. So I was like, I want to get rich as fuck. I want to get rich in crypto. So what do I have to do? Well, you have to invest in crypto, and you have to make a ton of money to invest in crypto if you want to get crypto rich. So my goal was next bull run, the 2020 bull run, which I knew was coming. It was inevitable. Like the next one will come, and it will come. Whether you capitalize on it or not, it's up to you. But the beauty of success is that when opportunity meets preparation and you fuse it together, then magic happens. I was ready, right? And the opportunity came. And when it fused together, I became extremely wealthy, not wealthy just of the pocket, but wealthy of the mind. Mm-hmm. So what makes me different? From an individual standpoint, nothing. And the reason I say that is because I want people to understand that I'm not special. I'm not different. All I am is a man that has purpose and has a goal. And most people walk around like accidents. Now, yes, there's people that are more intelligent. There's people that started before. Damn, I wish I was buying Bitcoin in 2009. But most chance, like highest chance, is that it won't happen. And what I realize is that people, you know, they want their lucky break. They want that shit coin to blow up, but they're not willing to put in the work. Dude, I had to work my ass off to make my first 100K. My ass. It took me years of suffering, sweat, tears, knocking on doors. But you know what I realized? I was like, what am I going to go back to Argentina? Go fucking sell water bottles on the side of the street? Like, that's what I want my life, to have 3 bitches with 16 different kids and I can't feed them under a tin roof. Like, that was the condition of my friends. I was like, I don't want that. I have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And when you realize that, you're like, fuck it. Like, let's just go for it. And I went for it and it worked. And my hope is that people select a goal. And when I say I'm not different or that there is special characteristics, yeah. But all these characteristics can be learned. All these mindset tricks and rules and universal principles, they can be learned. But what can't be learned or can't be taught is your desire to actually want it. And what I realized, especially in a Western country, in the US, Canada, North America, and even some countries in Europe, is people lack courage. And the reason they lack courage isn't because they are cowards, but because they have conformity. They conform to the status quo. Even in crypto, all these guys that call themselves fucking crypto traders, they talk, think, operate the same way as everybody else. Everybody's on the bandwagon. Everybody conforms. And if you were to ask 100 men out there, 99 of them, if you were asking why they come into work, what's their goal, they can't tell you. They look at you like, what do you mean a goal? They couldn't tell you. They could, a goal? Yeah, well, I want to get ripped. Oh, well, I want to be rich. Why? Well, I want to be free. Free from what? Oh, well, you know, I want to be free from work. Okay, you can be free from work right now. Just quit. So it's not about that. It's about the fact that people don't understand and people don't know how to think. And yes, there are certain advantages. There's higher levels of IQ. There's people that are more intelligent. But for the people that, you know, are there, that are poor, that think that they're dumb, all these things, a lot of it is self-belief. And it's that narrative, that self-narrative that you're propagating into yourself, that you're not going to make it, that you're poor, that life is hard on you, that the system is against you. Bro, the system doesn't give a fuck. The politicians don't care about you, bro. None of these people give a fuck whether you die, whether you live, whether you make $1 million, whether you don't. There's so much wealth out there. There's so many people trying to run their own bags, do their own thing. They don't give a fuck about you. But what I will tell you is that the system is designed to favor the people that created the system. And guess what? You did not create it. What you did was get put into a fucking school system that has told you from grade 1, what is your dream job? Dream job from grade 1. Well, I want to be an astronaut. Bitch, you ain't going to be no astronaut. Like, why are you talking about this nonsense? You don't even know how to do your fucking taxes. You don't understand what money is, where it's coming from. And then you wonder why your life is a piece of shit. Your life is shit because you are a byproduct of your life, and you are shit. The things you consume, how you operate, how you think, all that is just garbage. It's trash. And then you look at the outcome of your life and you're like, I don't know how I ended up here. You ended up there because of the decisions that you made. So you have to be able to have a goal, and the decisions that you make need to be in complete alignment with the pursuit of that goal. Most people have a goal, but they don't do the things that are required to achieve that goal. Okay, you want a six-pack? Perfect. You know what you have to do. Oh, they look at all these people that are ripped. Dude, like, what's your routine? What's your diet? Bitch, you know the routine. You know the diet. Stop eating the fucking Twinkies. Stop jerking off. Stop going to the gym and being on your phone 2 hours and do the fucking work. Because in life, you reap exactly what you sow. And I reaped benefits from hard work, dedication, consistency, and having a goal and pursuing it. and so can you.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think that, like, when you say the points that you made, like, for example, what else are you going to do? What do you want to be free from? Is it because you were from Argentina and you had nothing else? What about people that maybe are living in a comfortable home and the alternative is chilling, watching Netflix, maybe text some girls, maybe just go to school, please my parents? How do they get their motivation then?
I mean, all you have to do is bring it down to, are you happy? You know, like, are you truly content with your life? And some people tell you, yeah, I'm happy with making 50K a year. You know, I'm happy having my girl at home, my 2 dogs, coming home after a 9 to 5, working for some other dude. And that's completely fine as long as you don't complain. As long as you don't go on Instagram, look at somebody's life and get jealous and trash talk them and be like, oh, that's some bullshit. These guys are scammers. You know, so many people hate. So many people look at other people with disdain when they haven't accomplished anything in life.
Facts.
They're fat. They're fucking ugly. They have no money. They got zero bitches, zero connections. They have nothing to show for their life. Nothing. And then they want to come and hate on people trying. Are you out of your mind? The answer is yes, you're out of your mind. Most of you do not think. But if you're uncomfortable in that situation, that's perfectly fine. Like, that's the goal of life. The life is to be able to wake up with no pressure on your chest and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm proud of that guy. But here's the truth. Here's the truth. If you are a man and you are in pursuit of your fullest potential, there is no fucking chilling. There's only conquest. There's only conquest of your mind. There's only conquest of yourself. And then the rest, the conquest of the world, the conquest of the bank account, all these things will happen. But most people want to become millionaires, but they don't understand what it means to be a millionaire. That's why all these fucking kids in crypto made $1 million and lost it all, because they were never really millionaires. Never. They just gambled. And guess what happens to gamblers that don't understand how to manage their money? They lose it all because they don't understand how to preserve wealth. So what I realized when I made a ton of money, it was like, bro, I have to become a different type of person. I have to become the person that understands how to manage this wealth. If not, the world will give me exactly what I deserve, which is to be broke again. So I was like, I need to have a mentality, not of a broke person, but that of a rich person. And if you think for 1 second that people are out here that are wealthy, that think the same way that you do, you're sadly mistaken. These motherfuckers aren't thinking, nor do they have the same mindset that poor people do. It is impossible. So I had to focus on changing my mind once I acquired the money, and that's how I was able to maintain it. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get to, like, someone was saying, let's cut some of the fluff and I want to hear what his tax returns are. I mean, I don't want to ask you those kind of questions. I already know who you are, but it may be for the chat. Let's say, like, let me ask you a direct, tangible question. Like, obviously I'm not going to ask you how much money you've made, but how much money have you made?
I 40x my net worth in the last 18 months. And I don't have to show anybody no tax returns, none of that shit. I'll do that to the Puerto Rican government, bitch, because that's why I live here. I live in Puerto Rico, so I pay 0% capital gains tax, while some of you motherfuckers out here paying 30% because you're broke and you don't know how the game's played. So I don't have to answer. I'll answer that question. 40x my net worth, but I don't have to show tax returns. First, get Donald Trump's tax returns and ask me for mine.
Okay. No, and personally, I've seen Luke. So, like, Luke, basically, I know that you have this Neo thing, and not the Neo thing. You know, you have your profile, and obviously,
I am Neo.
Do you want to explain that?
Neo was chosen, just like others are chosen. Many were called, but few are chosen. And these are the people that are willing to take the risk and understand that if they leave the system that they've been in for their entire life, that they can actually have everything that they want. There is no limitations except the limitations that you impose on yourself and the limitations of the mind. And Neo is very interesting because I've been talking about the Matrix since 2020. I've been talking about how people perpetrated humanity and enslaved humanity, not with whips anymore and picking cotton, but with something called fractional reserve banking and the Federal Reserve and the slave system and this wage system that people live under. And what I came to realize was that I was that person, but I became free from that, whether it's through the will of God or whether it was, I got lucky. You can call it whatever you want, right? Whatever you want. I got out. And what happens when you have a ton of money? Well, very simple. It no longer becomes fun. You just have money. So now I'm in the pursuit with Capital Club of unplugging people that are ready to be unplugged, that have potential. And what I realize is a lot of people just need somebody to believe in them more than they believe in themselves. And I am that guy. I've been that guy. I've been that guy to you. I've been the guy to a lot of these come up kids. And I'll continue to be that guy because I understand what it takes to make it. Not from an impractical point of view, not from a non-tangible, Dan Bilzerian with 100 bitches but unapproachable point of view. No. A guy that knows how to make money, knows how to multiply money, knows how to keep money, but understands one very basic principle. And the principle is that wealth is more than just capital gains. Wealth is a quadrant of life. And the quadrant is divided into 4 categories: health, wealth, love, and happiness. If you do not have these 4 quadrants in your life, you're truly not successful. So I see a lot of people talking about money. I see a lot of people talking about bitches. It seems to be the trend nowadays. But their life isn't whole. Their life lacks completion. Their life lacks balance. And I said this once, and I'll say it again. It's the wealthiest man is the one that wakes up with least pressure on his chest. And the reason I know this is because here in Puerto Rico lives the richest guy in crypto. I just got off another live stream, and this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but this guy, walks around all day drunk. He's all day baked out of his mind. He's not there. He's had like crazy turmoil. The dude can't sleep at night. He's got tens and tens of billions of dollars in the bank account. Is that success? Is that success? No, it's not. Why? Because your goal was to be free, but you just became a slave to something else. So you became a slave to something else.
Success is, what is it really? Well, I know you mean the least pressure, but what does success really mean?
That's what success is to me, is the person that understands how to unlock completion and balance and fulfillment in their life. Like, that's what it's about. Dude, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, they were fucking trading cows, bro.
So would you say those guys are successful?
They were trading cows. Dude, it was cows back in the day. Money is an illusion. Dollars in the bank account don't mean shit if you have no health. Dude, do you know, I can guarantee you for a fact, when Steve Jobs was sitting on his deathbed with cancer, he would have given up everything to be you. Everything. But he couldn't. Why? Because he lacked a quadrant of true wealth, which is health. Like, he lacked it. And it's okay. Dude, I remember when I was doing door-to-door sales in Tennessee, I've never told this story. I drive down this, because you could just kind of go really like, in Tennessee, they have like these big properties. They're like 100, 200 acres long and shit like that, right? And I go down this driveway with all like these super beautiful trees. It's like a 3-mile long driveway. I'm like, who the fuck lives down here? Because you can just drive into the like houses and knock on doors. And I go and I knock on this door, and a nurse responds. A male nurse responds. It's this big ass house, like a house, one of the biggest houses I've ever seen in my life. And he knocks on. I was like, hey, is like the owner of the house here? And he's like, oh no, he's sick. He's bedridden. And I see through the windows a guy like in his 50s. He like peeks over, and he's he's wearing diapers, bro. He's wearing diapers. And he's the owner. He's the owner of this big ass estate. This big ass estate, the probably worth tens of millions of dollars, but he has no health. He has to be spoon fed, and his ass needs to be wiped by another man. Is that success?
God
no,
damn.
To me, it's not success. Now, I understand you're 85, you're 90 years old, you're reaching the end of your life. Things happen, right? But my point is, if you truly want to become successful, it's a balance of life, brother. And people don't want balance. People want fast, instant gratification. They're single verticals, right? They're 1 or 2 dimensional, but they lack the fullness of life. I ask so many entrepreneurs, how many countries have you been to? Oh, I went to Mexico. That's what they tell me. Oh, well, I went to Jamaica, but they lack fullness of life, bro. They've never been around. They don't know how to live life. It's fucking crazy. And then they come to me, they flex on me some bullshit ass Rolex watch or some Lambo, even if they bought it, and they're foreign in their whip, and they think that somehow Like, life is about that. If life is measured by the size of the box that you live in, then you lost. You lost before you started. And I'm telling this to you as a guy that's made tens of millions of dollars. And I can tell you, once you've made it, you're like, oh shit, like now what? What happens after money? Most of you guys don't even know. And that's when the journey begins, because money only solves problems that money can solve. And then you're left with a ton of problems that money cannot solve. And those are the problems that you think money is going to solve, but it truly doesn't. So don't play yourself.
Okay. Look at there's a critic Saws in the chat. Can you read the chat?
I am Saws.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the Pokemon hat?
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of this one. GL boys, hope there's a replay and Luke talks more about himself unscripted. Would like to learn more about his.
I think he's saying that you're giving fluff and script. He's been saying that in the chat, so I wanted to address that. So
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not worried about what some broke little bitch has something to say. Let's keep moving.
We're keeping it moving. No, but let me ask you some personal questions too. I do want to pick your brain. Obviously, your story is important for people to know. But like, there's the Matrix. You said so, Neo. So you got chosen, and there's other people chosen. How does someone get out of the Matrix? And like, not in a way that it's like something that someone watching this right now could directly go and do and get
Make
themselves
money.
out.
That's the first thing you want to do. The first thing you want to do is open up an e-commerce store, learn how to run a business, understand what money is. Because most of you all are out here, bro. Do you understand how many people are working a job they don't even know what fucking money is? Like, most of you guys watching this video right now, if I was to ask you to define to me what money is, where it comes from, who makes it, and who makes the money policies, right, that you live under, you wouldn't be able to tell me. So, of course, most people are dumb as fuck. So the first thing you have to do is get intelligent, wise up. Next thing you have to do is action. Figure out what goal you want. If it's $1 million, action. What is the action steps? Figure out the least resistance, lowest risk, highest reward business models. Right now, TikTok organic. You could literally get a store up and running in 48 hours, test a bunch of products that you see trending. And within weeks, if you're intelligent, you could have 10 grand in your bank. Oh yeah, but what if you only have $200? Then go make more money. Go fucking work at a waiting job in some fancy restaurant, make $500 a week and put it in a shoebox and wait and do the exact same thing that I did. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard. It's possible. So my recommendation is people need to figure out how to make quick money, not hustle money, not bad money, quick money. And there are ways to make super fast money. I'll give you guys an example. If you go to any local business nowadays, in any place here around you, and you show them, hey, we have the ability to grow your Instagram, right? Just shit like that. How much is it? Okay, I'll charge you $2,000. Okay, perfect. Now you go to one of your boys that runs these campaigns that are the giveaways, right? On all these pages, all that shit. They charge you $1,000. Okay, perfect. Let's say they charge you $1,500. Now you're left with a $500 profit. You grow that business page. They don't know anything about social media. They just want more followers. They want organic followers or whatever, targeted, whatever it may be. And now you've offered a service, you delivered on the service, you've brokered a service, and you've made money without literally doing anything. You just got up, brokered a deal, spotted somebody's need, and you fulfilled it. And that's how I initially made money. Was I was figuring out people's needs and I was supplying them.
Okay. So like, you gave some pretty tangible stuff that people can do, but like, to make it clear, because I know people, like, they give themselves every excuse. Let's say tomorrow you wake up, you don't have all the
here's the thing. You don't need experience. Okay. Nobody starts with experience, bro. Who starts with experience? Islam.
No one.
There you go. How do you gain experience? How do you go to the gym day one, and if you go consistently 365 days later, your form is different, your physique is different, your connections at the gym are different. You're living a completely different game, but you have to show up. Most people don't want to show up, bro. Most people sit like this. Why did this NFT not go up? Let me hate on the. Hey, what's the floor price? What's the floor price? Fucking clowns, bro. You have to go in, show up, put in the work, and it'll happen. Do you understand how many guys, bro? Do you understand how many guys in every gym you could literally go to and sell them a social media growth package? All these fucking clowns that like want to flex and look good, that have no idea about social media, dude, you could be selling those packages, make tens of thousands of dollars, but you just don't want to get up. You don't want to work. People do not want to work. The money is out there. There are trillions of dollars in the system, $31 trillion in debt. Somebody has that money. And if you have none of it, it's because you're a fucking loser. And most of you guys aren't losers because you just happen to be a loser. You're a loser because you chose to be a loser. Your decisions have made you a loser. If you choose your decisions carefully, you can choose the decisions of a winner and a loser. And most of you guys are choosing to make decisions that the 99% make, the peasant decisions, right? The peasant decisions. And if you make the peasant decisions, you're going to have the same outcome as peasants. So most people don't want to take accountability for their life, right? They look at their life and they say, oh, well, I'm just a byproduct of some other man's decisions, some system, some government. But when you understand that all these things are man-made constructs, you can bypass them. It's very simple. So I'm not in here to talk to all the fucking peasants, all the 17-year-olds, the 16-year-olds that don't want to hustle. Bro, if you want to hustle, you'll figure out how to do it, bro. You don't know how to do anything perfect. Go figure out how you can learn Solidity code and do smart contracts online on the internet. You'll learn it in a fucking week. And now you're a valuable asset. Now you can charge $250 to make a smart contract. And now what happens? You get a couple smart contracts going, you get some reputation, you get some rapport, you offer some good service, boom, you have money.
But people don't want to take that step to learn that skill. And these are all things that I've talked to with this chat. Exactly. Reselling social media growth, people needing to all this stuff, TikTok store, e-com store. So like, you really think someone could just make an e-com store right now with a couple $100, get on TikTok and start popping off, make 20 grand?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
100%. Dude, how are you supposed to make money if you don't try? Oh, well, you know what? I tried a store. I look at people's stores. They look like some gay ass shit that looks like it was made in fucking Iran by some hood rats, bro. That's what it looks like. People put no thought into their action. They look at a landing page and you look at it and people are like, dude, nobody's buying my shit. Why? Can you evaluate my store? And I asked them one question. Bro, would you buy from your own store? Well, no, it looks a little bit scammy. No wonder, bitch. No wonder people ain't buying. Come on. So that's my train of thought, brother. Like, there are no excuses to make it. Zero. I come from nothing, bro. I come from nothing, bro. Zero. I made it not by myself. I made it by my efforts. People helped me along the way. 100%. This idea of self-made is sort of true, but I want to make one point very clear. Everyone is self-made, but only the rich will admit it. Every person is self-made, but only the rich will admit it.
And what does that mean?
A poor person is self-made because of the choices that they made. Every person is self-made, but only the rich will admit it. A broke person won't tell you that they're self-made. They'll blame the system. They'll blame the boss. Oh, well, I got fired today. My boss is an asshole. Well, maybe you should have shown up early. Well, why would I show up early? They're only paying me $8 an hour. Because sometimes you have to be able to give more than you get in return, bitch. You're not worth shit in the system. Dude, you're trying to be valuable. You're out here flipping patties, bro. You're worthless. Soon you're going to be replaced by a fucking drone. Flipping patties. You're worthless. Elon Musk says, you get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. You get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. If you solve little problems, you'll get paid little bucks. Why? Because you're replaceable. If you solve big problems, like putting people on fucking Mars, you'll get paid big bucks. That, or the thesis of putting somebody on Mars, you'll get paid big bucks, right? So that is the premise. Most of you guys have no value to offer because you don't spot the need and you don't provide the value for it. Dude, you know how many young cats here, bro, can literally pick up any social media page for any business, can literally go out there and hustle, make a couple $100, can go out here and flip some sneakers, do all this shit. They just don't want to, bro. They get complacent. That's why I said the opposite, the antonym of courage isn't cowardice. It's conformity. It's conforming to what everybody else does. It's conforming to what your parents do. Bro, if your parents are broke as fuck, working a job, why would you ever take their advice on money? Why would you ever take advice from a person that hasn't done what you're trying to do. If you want to make tens of millions of dollars, live in a $2.5 million house, travel to 40 fucking countries, do whatever the fuck you want, 40x your net worth, make tens of millions of dollars in ecom, then listen to the people
who are
that have
doing
done
that.
it.
Yeah,
Boom.
literally. And then that goes to the parents thing with the university and all that crap too, right? But you have someone in the chat saying, hey, Luke, that's not necessarily true. There are a lot of hyper intelligent people getting their knowledge extorted for a wage.
Yeah, but we're not talking about intelligence here. We're talking about the ability to provide value, right? And sometimes, here's the thing, extorted, that's an interesting
Can
word.
I give you an example? I have
Yeah.
one of my sales guys, my top sales guy. He works at one of the top companies in, I think it's in finance, and he is the head manager of their sales place. And they only get paid $70K a year, and he doesn't get commission any year. He's been working there for over 8 years, and he makes more money working for me on the side because of the growth, right? So what do you think about his situation where his company really just isn't valuing him, even though he is putting in that grind? Like, what does that person do?
Then he should ask for a raise. Maybe he should read a book or two on negotiations. Maybe if he's not going to get a raise is because there's a flaw or something in him that he's replaceable. If you are irreplaceable, right, in your business, irreplaceable, now you have what? Negotiating power. You have leverage. Most people don't have leverage at the negotiating table. Why? Because their skill set is either replaceable and they're not that qualified, or the work that they do, the quality of their work isn't really good. I want to make a point. You cannot make money. Money is only made by the Federal Reserve. If you make money, it's illegal. You can only earn money. So if you want to earn more money, these are the two principles. Provide a service, or because here's the thing, even as a business, you're an employee, you're providing a service. Provide a service in which you do things better than others, and a service that others cannot replace you at doing. Imagine I'm a boss, bro. Do you understand how many employees I have that are really, really good, that have the upper hand at the negotiating table with me? Like 3 or 4. Yeah. I'm like, okay, like they want to raise, like, fuck, like what am I going to do? They're just going to leave? Bro, Apple was giving 125K bonuses to poach people from Amazon because they needed more devs. Because why? The value was there. So if a job doesn't see the value in you, and they don't, right? Or maybe they do and you're not as valuable, that's up for you to decide. Then get up, pick up and go somewhere else, bro.
Like Mo, you're saying value doesn't always correlate with income. True, but that is not
value. Value is what you get. Price is what you pay, right? So if you want to get paid more, you have to increase your value or go somewhere where your value is appreciated based on what you believe that it's worth. Or maybe your ability to negotiate is very weak. There's many variables, but you can't be like, well, they don't appreciate me and complain if you're a free man and you can just get the fuck up and leave.
Yeah, it's like the quote that, the man who does more than what he is paid for will soon be paid more for what he does.
And that is true.
Like that point, that value doesn't always correlate. It's true for a time period only. Eventually, you will get that value, right? You will get your money.
Yeah, and if you don't, you should have the ability to walk away, dude. I worked a job for 3 months. Week 2, I asked for a raise. I asked for a raise within 2 weeks, bro. And they said, no, I asked for a 10% raise. I worked at a job for 3 months. It was a cubicle bullshit ass job. I was getting paid 40 grand a year. That former boss just hit me up because he wanted me to teach him crypto. I told him to fuck off. And I asked him for a 10% raise. That means $4,000 a year. What is that divided by 12, chat? Figure it out. It's like $80 or some shit. And he said no. I'm like, he doesn't think I'm worth $80 more, aka like $12 a day. Fuck him. So you know what I did? I found a couple hedge funds in New York City that ran some algos and some stock trading stuff. I told them I was going to run Facebook ads for them for free for 2 months. Within the first 2 months, I had $36,000 in contracts for Facebook ads closed. And as soon as I got those deals signed, the next day, boom, I quit my job, resigned instantly. But I figured out a way out. And so can you. You just have to put in the work, bro.
And obviously, I think there's the component of the mindset of being like fucking literally trapped in the matrix, assuming that your job is doing the best for you, sticking with that job. Because I don't see any way
your job doesn't care about you, bro. Your job doesn't give a fuck about you. They'll replace you the moment you die. Instantly. The moment you die, your job, oh, let's mourn for this person. Oh, it's so sad. Well, we got a vacant spot. Let's get those job listings up because we got to keep pumping money. That's the truth. You are just a cog in the wheel. And when you understand that, you play the game differently. You play the game and you're like, oh, I owe my loyalty to this company. This company's helped me through so much, but they're only paying me 30 grand a year. Can't help you, brother. You got to be able to know your worth or know what you want to be worth and strive for that.
So what do you then think about like immoral and moral money? Because people can become rich very fast off immoral money. Like, do you
Absolutely.
think people
but that's a character.
That?
That's a character thing, right? Like, why would you make money in a way where here's the thing. If you can't look, and this depends on different people, and immoral is always biased, right? And I'll give you an example. All of you guys eat sugar, whether it's packaged sugar or on candy, and most people here eat avocados or sugar cane, things of this nature. Go look at these business models, right? They all of them, every single one of them are based on slavery. They're based on fucking employing people from Haiti, Haitian people, all these things, slavery, and you're supporting this, right? So when we talk about immoral, everything in the world has a byproduct of immorality attached to it. Go look at the lithium batteries that the Tesla cars have. Look at how they're made. They're made in fucking mines that people have to get killed to like mine some fucking lithium. But you're supporting it by purchasing that battery. So on that perspective, it's white, it's black and gray. But here's the thing. It's all about looking yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, and there's people that'll make money in the wrong way, things of this nature. That's totally fine. Do your own thing. I don't give a fuck. As long as you don't bother me or steal from me, do whatever you want. But what I've come to realize, just for myself, and I can't speak about other people. It's for myself. I don't care if other people think I'm successful. I care if I think if I'm successful. I have to live with dude, Islam, I don't have to live with your opinion. I don't have to live with the opinion of anybody on this chat. I have to live with how I think about myself. If everybody thinks I'm rich and successful, but I scan my way to the top and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, I hate myself. Did I win?
Definitely not.
There you go. That's why to me, honest money is the best policy, brother. Always. And sometimes that means you have to play the longer road. And that's okay. Who are you racing against? What's the end destination? Death? Like, what are you racing towards, bro? Like, chill out, slow down. Like, do what you got to do. The money will come. Most people want to make fast money because they compare themselves to other people. That's the truth. Oh, well, this guy's 22 and he's got a Lambo and I'm 25 and I don't have a Lambo. I'm a failure. Bro, get your fucking priorities straight.
Definitely. So one of your community members, they asked me to ask you this, but I know this. You have a tattoo behind your ear. What is that? What is that tattoo?
This is Pancake Swap. So Pancake Swap right here made me tens of millions of dollars in crypto.
Wait, Pancake Swap, like the coin?
Yeah. So I tattooed it on. Yeah, I tattooed it on my. I tattooed it on my neck because it made me tens of millions of dollars. I was the top 10 holder of Pancake Swap in the world.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. How'd you get into that? How'd you know that was the right investment?
Yeah. So back to the story of CZ, right? So I'm on Clubhouse and I asked CZ, hey, what's next? And he drops a little stutter, right? He drops a little stutter. And these are the hints of the universe where if you're paying attention, you can capitalize on this. Okay. He's like, well, we're working with these guys from Turkey and we're working on, a DeFi protocol called Pancake Swap. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to bet on this motherfucker, bro. And this was before anybody knew about APYs and shit like that. So I go on Pancake Swap and the APY is 14,000%. 14,000%. I was making 4,000 cake a day, brother.
God damn.
At a peak, it was $46. Do the math, chat. 4,000 times 46. I remember selling all my cake while I was sitting oceanfront in Mexico, Tulum, Mexico, at $36, right the week of Safe Moon in 2021.
Damn. There's people in the chat asking, like kind of related to this topic, but they're saying, do you still recommend shorting GMT? And you want to maybe talk about what shorting GMT is?
Yeah. So GMT, in crypto, a lot of these things are Ponzi's, right? And we need to understand that a lot of crypto are Ponzi's. but that doesn't mean you can't make money on them. You can make money on the way up. You can make money on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about a Ponzi where I made money on the way up and a Ponzi where I made money on the way down. Money on the way up. Time, Wonderland, right? Everybody got fucked. Obviously, 50,000 APY isn't sustainable. And only intelligent people would know this. Dumb fucks left their money in there to multiply in perpetuity for always and forever. They got fucked. So I was part of Time when it was like $1,000 in the beginning. I put about 700K, and then it went up to $10,000, and I was making like, I don't know, it was like 70 grand a day, some crazy shit on APY. And the day that Elio Trades talked about it on his YouTube channel, I sold all of it. And I messaged everybody. I said, sell your Time because this shit's about to implode. The newbie money's in. The rich people are about to cash out on these people. And that was your ability to make money on the beginning of the Ponzi. If you're in the beginning of the Ponzi in crypto, bro, you'll make a ton of money. If you're at the end of it, you'll get fucked. On the other side, shorting, right? So GMT, you basically need to, let me show you how the Ponzi works. You buy an NFT to get access to walk, right? So you got to walk in order to get yield of GMT, which is a token. So what do? They take the money from the NFT that you had to purchase, and then they just give you the difference, like a little bit of money, a little bit of change. And then the price just like tanks like this. Do you think people are going to be fucking walking 15 miles a day to get paid or like to break even? What happens when you miss a day? What happens when people it's not a sustainable business model? What happens when people stop buying the NFTs right here because they need to fucking feed their families or some shit? Well, then there's no more money to sustain the Ponzi. So I'm just betting on shorting on Ponzi's, just like I shorted Luna, right? I shorted Luna at $102. I posted this publicly on my Instagram. If you don't follow @Luke Belmar, you're going to miss out on some plays. But I shorted Luna at $102. Why? Because 20% APY wasn't sustainable, and it only made sense. Some of the big guys inside Capital Club were talking about it, and I made $2.9 million in 7 days shorting Luna. Very straightforward, very simple. A full family works 9 to 5 for their entire life, and all you had to do was have 30 grand on a short at $102. And when that shit went to zero, you made 2.9 million. Like, it's pretty straightforward. The problem is people don't have the network, they don't have access to the right information, and they're not able to spot opportunity. If you can do that, and you're not like this on your phone, oh, well, what did the Kardashians do today? Oh, that's some nice ass. Oh, you're always going to lose. Wake the fuck up. It's distracting you. It's keeping you poor, and you don't truly care. The moment that you care is the moment that you begin to change. There are no excuses, guys. Come on.
Of course. So I made some money shorting too, not gonna lie. That was pretty nice. Okay, so I wanted to ask you a question based on like just talking to you for the last hour. I can tell that you kind of share a lot of the same values and thoughts as Andrew Tate. So I'm curious, like Tate kind of has the Morpheus thing going. You're Neo. Do you guys have a relationship at all?
Yeah, we do. We talk on a bi-weekly basis. I'm picking somebody important from the airport today as well for some content. So you guys will be able to see that in the next couple of days. What you guys need to understand is that I run this internet shit. All right. So when it comes to Instagram, YouTube, connections, everything ends up trickling down to the big boss. And the big boss is me. I don't run the real world. I run the internet shit. What this means is that when people need something, whether it's directly or indirectly, it comes back in some way, shape, or form, either to my ears, I find out about it because of my network, or directly comes to me because people need assistance. So when people need assistance and everybody needs assistance, I find out about it. I love the guy. He's a phenomenal dude. We've had several conversations, gave him some social media strategies, helped him do some stuff on the internet. And yeah, but that's the extent of it. He's helped people realize that it's okay to be courageous and it's okay to speak your mind. Up until this point, we only had like the LGBTQ people like yelling and all the feminist bullshit that we all knew was just annoying as fuck. But, it just wasn't worth the trouble. And then when you see one person being like, it's worth the trouble, and the other person's like, it's worth the trouble. And then eventually everybody's like, fuck these people, we're taking over. And what you're about to see is a revolutionary takeover, not from one entity, not from two entities, but it's going to be at a global scale, and it requires everybody. So I support everybody that's in it to win it, and I support everybody that that doesn't want to be told what to fucking do. Guys, we've been locked up for 2.5 years, and you ain't mad about it. I'm fucking pissed. So guess what? I'm gonna support the guys that run it and run their shit, that do their shit, and that want to help people. Whether they make a ton of money out of it, they don't, doesn't matter. I'm here to support people. And yeah, we share a lot of similar ideologies, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people share the same ideologies. And these aren't new principles. These are not new principles. These principles have existed for a really long time. They're not new to us. This idea of living under another man's law is not new. It's been around for a while. And all we're doing is realizing that a lot of people haven't been exposed to this information. They haven't been exposed to these resources. I mean, you know, as well as I do, you know, I think it was about 1.5 years ago, I sat down, you were in your house in Canada, and I gave you a big ass lesson on the money system. I gave you a big ass lesson on why I thought you need to make more money. And a lot of these principles remain the same. You know, they haven't changed. But yeah, that's my thought on that.
Why'd you talk to me? So I remember a long time ago, I had done some stuff, and then somehow I had gotten in contact with you. But like, your time's important. So why did you talk to me about those things? And maybe we can touch on some of the things that you talked about.
Because I spot potential, and at the end of the day, when I spot potential, I want to make sure that that potential isn't squandered. So whether you've squandered it or not, I don't know. But sometimes I'm just a nice dude. But if you were to pay for my time right now, my hour goes to $10,000 an hour. So if you wanted to pay for an hour of my time, that's what I charge. And I do that every couple of weeks whenever I feel like it. Sometimes it's just a drag to even hop on the call. But, you know, people that you like, sometimes you need to understand that some people are investments, other people are expenses. I saw you at the time as a person worthy to invest in, and whether it was through NFTs and things like that, I think that was reciprocated and paid back. So at the end of the day, yeah, I think it was worthwhile.
I think so too, and I appreciate that. And I remember when you gave me that call, you made a comment on a topic. I don't want to expose anything private, but I think this is fine. And you talked about fresh water, fresh land. You want to touch on that? Why that kind of stuff is important?
Because it's real. The idea of having real assets, fresh water, land, sustainability, the most common basic stuff is essential. The World Economic Forum, Agenda 2030, you can do your research if you want, states that you will own nothing and you'll be happy. So all these big companies, you know, Walmart that is buying up all the underground water reservoirs around the United States. You have Bill Gates buying hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland. Why? Because they want to own the means of production. So what happens when a fucking crook owns the means of production? Then they control you. So what do you have to do? Just cut your little sliver out so that you become autonomous. They can't fucking touch you. That's what it's about. It's about being able to be safe when these maniacs come and try to impose the next, and you can tell them, fuck off, I'm gonna do my own thing. That's what it's about. So water, sustainability, energy, all these things. I saw people spend fucking $500,000 on an NFT. They don't even have a house. They don't even have a car. Like fucking morons. They have no plan for success beyond the metaverse. The metaverse ain't fucking real. All right. People have been playing, what do you call it? RuneScape, this RuneScape shit for decades. And these guys that never played video games, they're these crypto guys have come to you and be like, let me sell you a pipe dream on the metaverse. And they made tens of billions of dollars, bro. You know, I was buying mana, Decentraland at 2 pennies back in 2017 because I knew fucking morons were going to fall for it. I just knew it. And the best part is how many users these platforms actually have. Nobody logs in and sees that shit. Nobody logs in and sees that shit, dude. Nobody logs in to Decentraland and utilizes that platform. As soon as people realized, oh dang, real life conversations are a lot better than Clubhouse. What happened to Clubhouse?
Yeah.
As soon as people realized, oh, in real conversations are better than Zoom, what happened to Zoom? And what happens right now? They want to keep you like this, bro. Boxed up, leveling up the character in your fucking game. Oh, well, look, bro, I have a gold trait on my NFT. It's 1 out of 50. It's a rare. But you
For
ain't rare,
sure.
bro. You're a fucking peasant in real life. Get a life.
Yeah, and I can attest to this because even the first
And
million
I
I
made
made was
$9 million
400K.
on NFT, so I don't want to hear shit from you guys. I use it as a vehicle to make money, like you should with
Mhm.
everything else. All right.
Certified. Okay, so you made money on so many different things. So like if someone's like right now, obviously crypto's down bad. You look like you're putting some of your time into your brand and all that stuff. What are you focused on right now? What's the best thing to do? Crypto, e-com, NFTs? Like what's like the highest ROI activity?
So it's not just about high ROI, but it's about risk reward ratio, right? So if you have $500 and you're trying to play the stock market or the crypto market, and those are the only chips that you have, you're fucked. Like I could go now, lose 100 grand on a trade and be like, all right, whatever, what the fuck, like whatever, that's fine. But you can't, right? So a lot of people are trying to gamble their way to the top instead of learning real skills. Learn a skill that'll get you paid and go get paid, but learn that skill. Focus on that skill, become a master of that skill, and the world is yours for the taking. But people want to do like 8 different
Mhm.
things, bro. People want to do crypto. Bro, have you seen the bio of these guys that are like real estate, crypto, NFT,
Yeah, yeah.
stocks, all this shit? I'm like, bro, look at my bio. E-commerce, crypto. That's all I do. And for whatever crypto entails, and then I have my private equity firm where we invest into companies, but they're most likely all e-commerce companies or they're crypto companies. That's it, right? But that's my lane. That's where I operate. I run this internet shit. But I have people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a businessman. I do all this shit, bro." You do a ton of shit. You do nothing. Most people would want to do a ton of stuff because it's like going to a train station, bro. It's like going to a train station. There's like 8 stations. There's like 8 trains leaving the station, and you're like, which one am I going to get on? Ooh. And you never end up leaving. You get on none of them.
Yeah.
Get on a fucking one that you know is proven and it's clearly proven. There's a ton, right? Just figure out how you make your first 100K and you're out. Your first 100K are the hardest 100K that you'll ever make. Once you make your 100K and you're not dumb fuck, you can make a ton of money.
Yeah, yeah. And like for my viewers, you guys know based on my story, it took me 11 months to make the first 100K, but then I became a millionaire within 13 months total. So 100K, 11 months, over a million at 13. So that goes to show like the type of growth that happens after the 100K. And like I can attest to that. But what if someone's trying, because there are guys in this chat who are trying to make money and it's taking them too long. They're not like, yo, I'm not like 90, I'm not like
They
you.
have no knowledge. They have
Okay.
no knowledge of how to make money. You can't, bro. If it was about hard work, then the fucking Mexican building your roof would be getting paid a ton of money. It's not about hard work. It's about spotting opportunity, figuring out a need in the market and supplying that, whether it takes a lot of work to do or not. Do you know that I know guys in Miami right now that when I used to, literally, I would get a text message, be like, "Hey, are you in Miami? I saw your story. Do you need some weed?" When I used to smoke, I no longer smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, "Yeah, I need some weed." That guy could have easily not hit me up. And the guy comes, $500, boom, done. Guy made $200, whatever the profit margin is on that shit. I don't even know. Long story short, you have to be able to spot opportunity and provide and supply the need to that opportunity. It's very simple, guys. Use your fucking heads. The system doesn't want you to think. That's what it comes down to. Oh, well, Joe versus Donald. Well, which one is the least of the two evils? Oh, well, let me watch the debates. Oh, well, that was funny. Oh, well, what is Addison Rae doing today? Oh, she shaked her. Nice. Let me share that to my friends. You're substanceless. You have no substance. Let me tell you something. Take away this from most motherfuckers. Take away their phone. Take away their entertainment. Take away their food. Take away their music. Take away their clothes. They have nothing. They are formless blobs of nothingness. Figure out what you want to become. Take control of your life and fucking change. Bro, everybody's a byproduct of the circumstances around them. If the circumstances around you aren't ideal, create the circumstances that you want.
I 100% agree. Do you think that kids then who are trying to make money, do you think that they should smoke weed? Because you said that you stopped. Why'd you stop? Like, do you think it's bad?
Because a good thing at the wrong time can be a bad thing. It's like giving a razor to a baby and expecting him not to get cut. The problem isn't the razor. The problem is the baby isn't ready for it. So you need to understand that sometimes in life, like anything, right? It's not weed. The weed isn't the problem. You're the problem because you don't know how to control yourself. You shouldn't be out here blazed 24 fucking. Oh, it's not addicting. Fucking quit lying to yourself, you fucking moron. You're addicted to that shit because those are dopamine hits. It's not the joint at night. It's not the smoking with your boys. It's not about that. It's the fact that it controls and it runs your life. Figure out why it runs your life. And instead of blaming the thing, blame yourself. And I was blaming the thing. Oh, you know what? Maybe this weed is too hard. And then I would go to another weed and all this shit. And then I was like, you know what? I don't need this shit. And sometimes in life, it's not about whether something is bad for you. It's about, is it good for you? If you have your goal in mind, ask yourself, does this action align to my desire to accomplish this goal? And if the answer is no, then you don't do it. Done.
Agreed. But what about people who've been smoking for like forever? You know, they're like,
what about, bro, it's bullshit.
But that's how everyone is, bro. That's how all these guys are. They say, "Oh, I smoke. I'm better when I smoke."
And they're all broke. And they're all broke. They're all dumb. They're all broke. They have the short-term memories out the fucking window. We all know this, bro. You know this.
Of course.
Dude, we know this. We all know this. And the problem isn't the joint. The problem is your inability to put it down when you got to pick up and do the fucking work, bro. That's the point. That's the point. The point is you have to sit down and sometimes you have to clock in 15 hours for the next 6 months to get to where you want to be. Now, I can't speak for other people. I can't, if some people like their sugar, they can do whatever they want. I just know that for me, it's not ideal for where I'm trying to go. In life, you do not need to be extremely better. You do not need to be extremely better. All you have to be is a little bit better, have a few more advantages. So if I'm sober and my competitor is fucked up 24/7, I have a little bit of an advantage. If my competitor reads 1 book a year and I read 30 books a year, then I have a slight advantage.
A big one.
And I read 100 books a year, just so you get context. I read a book every 3 days. I should show you the fucking book list that I have, but I don't want to expose some of these books. Anyways, the point is, these small advantages over time become massive gaps between your competitors, between the people around you. So if everybody's smoking weed, everybody's watching porn, everybody's gambling their money, everybody goes on stake and tries to play fucking blackjack, I just have to do the opposite. I have to do something better. If they work out 3 times a week, I'm gonna work out 5. Done. Just a little bit better, bro.
Can you do us a favor and go to your books and grab maybe 1 book that the chat should,
I got you.
By the way, chat, you guys are fucking legendary. Over 200 viewers basically this whole time. Smashed the record. A bit less personal because I'm not on OBS. I couldn't play the new Sense song on the start, but we got Luke. I wanted to get him in like a high quality stream. So everybody in the chat, if you're here and you fuck with me, drop a W. I want to see all the people here. I need to see all you guys. And Luke is amazing, dude. I'm so grateful to have him on. Grateful to have had him as a mentor. He's helped me on the side a lot. I've reciprocated some of that. And it's been a great, relationship. And that's kind of like, I never knew any of these guys, bro. Dude, you got so many people, bro. I see all of you. That's crazy. Appreciate you all for actually tuning in no matter what time. If I start at 3, if I start at 8, if I start at 10, this is the 3rd stream. You guys showing up every time. We smash the record every time. Thanks. Let's see.
The magic of thinking big.
Write this down. Write this down.
This book I've had. Look at the shit. I've had this book, Yellow Pages. I've had this book for 7 years. And it's this idea that you have to change your mind, bro. You got to think big. And this book teaches you the magic of thinking big. What happens when you think big? It all starts in the mind. It all starts in the mind. The magic of thinking big, baby. Think big. Think big. Here's the truth, Islam.
Yeah.
I have no limitations. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can if I say and I will something into existence, I can do it. But you know what's going to happen? The people around you are going to place their limitations and their weakness upon you. And because they can't do it, or they believe that they can't do it, then they pin it on you and say, well, you can't do it either. Well, that's impossible. Maybe it's impossible for you, bitch. I can do it. Why? because I have the magic of thinking big. I can think. I think, therefore I am. And a man is a byproduct of his thoughts. A man is a byproduct of his thoughts. How do you talk to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How do you speak to yourself? Do you speak to yourself like with hate? Do you like, dude, you fucking suck? No, you're the champ. Good work today. Good work today. Keep going. One more day. Let's do this. Let's pump it up. Let's do this. Let's do it. I can do this. I can do this. If you can, if you say that you can, you can. If you say that you can't, you can't.
Damn. And that's 100% true with me too. I've said it in the stream, like if I say it's gonna happen, it's going to happen. It's like kind of one of those things where it's just like you just gotta believe what you say. And there's an old saying, right? Some samurai. Do you know what that quote is? The samurai hears his own thoughts, so he shouldn't destroy himself. Something like that. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I mean the power of the words, guys. Like words are extremely powerful. Words are extremely powerful, but sometimes people are concerned about the words of the exterior. Dude, do you think I give a fuck about people talking in the chat? They don't know shit about me, bro. They've never broken bread with me. They don't know anything about me. But if they gave me 2 minutes of time and actually got to know me, I'd change their fucking lives. Every single one of them. They'd walk away and be like, damn, this guy fucking is the real deal. But you know what? They impose their insecurities, their disbelief, their limitations on you. Don't fall for that shit.
Yeah, it's like people, like even people I know, it's just like if they don't know me or they haven't taken the time to talk to me, or they think that I think I'm better than them, then they just hate. Like it's like a hate thing instead of like, hey, maybe if I talk to this guy for 3 minutes, maybe it wouldn't be as bad. And that probably applies for most
people. Dude, people are worried about what other people think. That's why everybody put it on, because they didn't want to get yelled at. You just tell people, all right, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you. You're right. I appreciate it. Done. Bro, fucking doesn't matter. Bro, you're going to people every time people are going to be talking in your ears. You know what's amazing? When everybody, when it's Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best footballers of all time, and everybody in the stands chanting, Messi, Messi. Do you think the guy gives a fuck? He's got 5 World Cup, 5 Champions Leagues under his belt, worth $500 million. The guy runs the shit. Cancel the noise. Think big. Focus on yourself, and don't let motherfuckers impose their disbelief, their limitations, their small mind on you. And if you let them, your life is ruined. But if you take control and you understand that the decisions that you make, you are responsible for. Do you think if you take their advice and you fuck up, that what are they gonna do? Come and solve you, give you a refund on your life? They ain't gonna give you no refund on your life. Make the decisions based on what you believe your limitations are, not what somebody else imposes on you. And trust me, you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to. And now your mind automatically thinks, well, no, I can't do everything my mind. Why? Because you've been taught that. You've been conditioned to be a weak peasant. How are you supposed to make money if you're a peasant? Money isn't for peasants. It's for wealthy people. So you have to think like a wealthy person. Rich of the mind, rich of the pocket.
For sure. So do you read only like business books? What other books do you read?
A plethora of books. I have books all over in every niche. So it all depends on where I am in life and where I have weaknesses and what I want to do. So you'll never see me read a fucking novel. You'll never see me read something that isn't going to substantially fill me up. But right now, my biggest focuses are books about self-development, my mind, and then books on trading. So understanding deeper technical analysis. That's kind of where my mindset and my focus on books are. What's your favorite health book? Should I get them one more health book?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that. One last book. I'm not getting up anymore for you guys.
One more book. Yeah, guys, I see all your questions. I'm gonna try to get some good questions now in. So if you have questions, I'll try to ask them. There are it's good answers, so there's not as much time to ask every question. So I'm trying to get to the ones I can. I'll answer some of the questions coming on now. I'll ask them. Sorry. But yo, how's everyone doing? It's Friday night. You guys are here, not partying, not doing some dumb stuff. What's up? What's the vibe like? Oh, it's Thursday. Either way, Thursday, Thursday, Thursday. Okay, just replace the question with it.
So this is a very simple book. Let's see. It's called Food Rules. You probably won't be able to see it.
Food rules.
Can you
It's
see
like a
that?
caterpillar. No, sorry, edamame.
Can you see that? Food
Yeah,
Rules.
yeah. Food rules by
Food
Michael
Rules.
Pollan.
Yeah, super big book. Gives you principles. Look at this shit. Very tiny. Gives you principles on how to eat, what foods not to eat, what foods to eat, how to combine certain foods. It's a really good book to start reading to kind of get your mind running and understanding that you are kind of what you eat. And most people don't understand that.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen your brother do. He does a lot of health stuff.
Yeah.
Like
We're going to be
diet-based.
launching some crazy stuff inside Capital Club. And at the end of the day, people are like, oh, genetics or this. That guy works his ass off every day, working out, studying, researching, understanding his body because he understands the value of health.
Yeah, I'll put his thing in the chat. It's Instagram.com/Mr. Belmar. I have your thing, by the way. People can see your Instagram and all that. So what, like, how important is health and diet for someone to become rich? Do they need to be fit, or can they do it without really like being too healthy?
Hey, chat, remind this man what we talked about, what true wealth is, real quick.
Okay, fair enough. But what about not true wealth? What about just becoming rich? Because some people are like, "Oh, I don't care about that. I just want to become
Don't
rich."
ask me about peasant-minded shit, bro. I'm all about that true wealth, bro. If you can't control what you put in your fucking mouth, bro, then you aren't a man.
Mhm.
If you can't control your taste buds, what you can and cannot eat, you're a slave to the system. These processed sugars, these refined sugars, these ridiculous carbohydrates that people consume, fucking Krispy Kreme, Taco Bell. Yeah, bro. I feel a little bit lethargic today. I'm foggy. My mind's foggy. And they're sucking on that vape 24/7 and they order pepperoni pizza. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Let me teach you a principle real quick.
Mhm.
Let me teach you a principle real quick. There is not a principle. Let me give you some facts. There's a chemical inside your body, an organic a chemical that's naturally produced inside your body. It's known as the happy chemical. This chemical is the one that is in charge of regulating your neurochemistry and regulating your levels of happiness. This chemical is known as serotonin. Now, 10% of the serotonin in your body is formed and created inside your brain. The other 90% is formed in your gut. 90% of it is formed in your gut. So what happens if you have a healthy gut? Well, now you produce proper what? Serotonin levels. And therefore you become automatically happier. People are depressed. People are sad. People are unhappy. Maybe it's not a mental disorder. Maybe your lifestyle, your body's just reacting to your lifestyle. Maybe if you're next to fluorescent lights 24/7 and you're like this till 2 a.m. and you're watching porn and you're eating Twinkies and you're eating Dunkin' Donut and you're drinking processed drinks and a fuck ton of sugary shit, your body's going to react accordingly. Your body's going to be unhappy. Your body's going to be depressed and your body's going to be in a state of unease. Dude, when was the last time you fasted?
I fast every year, Ramadan.
No, that ain't fast because you break it every 24th hour.
Okay, last time I fasted was like 2 months ago. I did a 2.5 day fast.
With what? Just water?
Just
Perfect.
water.
Everybody should do a 5 to 7 day fast once every year. And I'll explain to you why. At any given time, your body has 5 to 7 pounds of feces inside of your system. 5 to 7 pounds.
Oh,
Your
I feel
body,
that shit.
your body needs to process all these things. Your body needs to heal itself. Your body needs to recover. How is it going to be recovering if the energy that it's using to recover is instead being used to break down all these bullshit ass processed foods that you eat? Your body's inflamed. Your body has no time to heal. Your body has no time to clean itself up. Water, lime juice, if you want to, a little bit of salt, fast for 7 days. It'll reduce, scientifically proven, your chance of cancer by 98%.
Damn, this guy Ty is saying, "Can't you die if you don't eat for 7 days?"
No.
Listen, by the way, the questions I ask are very, I'm trying to get you to answer them. They're not questions that I would personally ever ask. I'm just trying to
Oh no,
get the
it's
viewers.
it's all it's all good,
Just
brother.
so
It's all
you
good.
know,
I know, bro. I know.
I just, so I want to get another question here because there's a lot of questions that I'm missing because I'm asking my own ones. This guy's saying, do you use supplements like pill-like supplements, or do you believe only in whole foods?
You can supplement things because nowadays the nutrients inside your food are not the same nutrients that used to be 500 years ago because of the soil, right? The soil's been completely depleted because they think they want soil to be mono use. And what that mean by mono use is that soil has a single use and for a single crop, like monocrop, something a name like that. What this means is that in this field, they'll only plant, I don't know, corn, and it'll only be corn consistently, always and forever. Therefore, there's no real nutrients in the soil. There's no diversification. It's not really an example of what true nature is. It's a fabrication. So therefore,
Mhm.
you need to supplement certain things with based on your body. So if you're feeling unhealthy, the first thing I'm going to recommend is you getting blood tests, right? These blood tests will basically tell you what your body is deficient in, whether it's iron, magnesium, calcium, what you may be over the top on, which is heavy metals. You may be exposed to like other chemicals that are terrible for you. I'll give you an example. Tony Robbins, he was eating fish every day because he did some crazy diet and he was feeling super sick. He did blood work and they realized that he had super high mercury levels in his body, super high mercury levels. So they said that he was very close to dying. Had he not done that blood work and checked what was wrong with him, it would have potentially cost him his life. So if you're not feeling very well, go get these blood tests. They're not super expensive. Figure out what's wrong with you and then supplement based on that. But every person, that's on an individual case by case scenario. I'm not a nutritionist, but you can go get a nutritionist that isn't fucking part of the system that wants to give you some bullshit ass food. What I will tell you is whole foods, organic foods are going to change your life drastically. Get rid of Coca-Cola, get rid of fucking Red Bull, all the processed bullshit, and focus on feeding your machine the best fuel possible.
Okay. This guy's saying I fast every day, 17 hours. Is that good?
I read serious question. Do you ever feel unhappy due to ego inflation and wearing a mask rather than being vulnerable enough to understand who you are and then sharing that the world would rather be regurgitating quotes? I don't know, bro. I don't know who this Pokemon dweeb is. Anyways, let's continue. What's some other thoughts on caffeine? Caffeine is a useful tool, but you need to remember caffeine is a drug, right? So you can't overuse it because then your body becomes numb to it, right? It becomes numb to it. I take, when I'm extremely tired, I take a caffeine pill, right? It's about 100 milligrams of caffeine. I don't drink coffee. I don't like that shit. So I'll take, and then I'll take a 15-minute power nap right before while that processes. And then I have a 4 to 6 hour work streak that is highly productive. But I use it maybe once a month. I'm not big on caffeine. I don't really need it. But it shouldn't be a daily thing. People consume it like it's some sort of like normal thing when it's literally known and proven to be a drug.
Yeah, and a lot of people, well, I people do know that, but they don't take it in.
Of course.
Business 20. I made $2 million the last 3 years. Do you think it's the right time to get married and have a baby? I'm a 24-year-old boy. You shouldn't say boy. I'm a 24-year-old boy. Thanks, guys. I think that answers the question, but you can answer it.
I mean, it depends on your goals, bro. I don't know. I wouldn't. $2 million isn't that much. So I would just focus on yourself. I think a lot of people focus on having a girl or having a kid, bro. These are additional people you got to take care of. These are additional responsibilities. Unless you marry some sort of killer that is actually helping you develop at a super high rate, I wouldn't be focused on that. Just make some more money, brother.
It's good to it's like the balance thing you said. You don't want to dedicate everything to a relationship, but do you think you can have a relationship still?
It
And good
depends on
one?
the relationship. It's a case by case scenario. If your bitch is out here asking you to cuddle every 2 hours and pulling you away from the grind and pulling away from elevating yourself and getting to the next level, then she's a distraction. Like when I'm with my girl, I'm like, yo, I got a dip for a month. See ya. And she doesn't say anything. Why? Because she knows. That's the play. Because if you want to live in a $2.5 million house, have security, have a chef, have a chauffeur, and all these things, then Big Boss has to go to work, and there's nothing you can do to deter him.
Mm-hmm. This guy's saying, ask him about the guy he knows that makes 10 mil a day.
So yeah, I know people that I don't know if I mentioned. I think I mentioned that I know somebody that makes $10 million a day, but it's irrelevant. I'm not going to mention his name.
Okay, and what was he doing? Like, was it something
Crypto.
specific? Crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have an LLC? Oh, that's a dumb question. Sorry, bro. That's a basic one. You can look that up. Thoughts on Adderall? I can't seem to focus and think this might be my solution.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you should try Whole Foods, and then maybe what you should do is put away your phone, reduce your dopamine intake, and if you say you're going to do something, you sit the fuck down and you do it, regardless of how you feel. I can't focus. Well, that's okay. Then sit down. If the work takes you twice as long, then that's okay. Adderall has literally methamphetamines inside of it. Inside Adderall, there's meth. It's proven. Like, no wonder you're fucking wired. But you want meth in your system, brother? It's up to you.
Well, it's not meth. It's a different chemical compound.
No, it's not.
How so?
Look it up. It's
Okay.
meth, bro. Methamphetamines.
Okay.
It's not good for you.
Definitely not. Definitely not good for you. This guy's been asking a couple times, so I'll ask this question. Do you like prop firm funding do you like prop firm funding? I don't even understand this. To grow capital, or is it a joke? I'm not sure what that means.
I don't understand what that means.
Oh, your webcam just went off.
I think it's my camera overheated there for a second. It might take a little bit. Let's see this shit.
You're spitting
That's what happens when you
too much fire.
Too much heat, brother. Too much heat. Let's see this shit. Sometimes it disconnects. Oh, let's see. We get this image back.
I'll read out this question. You say once you make a lot of money, the connections come to you. But were there any crucial lessons that you learned to meet other entrepreneurs who are at a higher level than you? And I know you're friends with a couple of big dogs. So
what's the question?
So basically, he's asking that what is the lessons you learned to meet other entrepreneurs? Like, how did you get those connections, essentially, even after you made money?
That you have to figure out where you need to provide value to them, where they're lacking, because everybody's lacking something in their life, and be able to supply that need. Figure out where everybody's, like, every rich person around you, they are missing something, right? They are missing something in their life. If you can supply that need, now you become a valuable asset. And rich people, they don't need people to help them make more money. I don't need you to help me make more money, right? Mm-hmm. But I have needs. If you can spot them and you become a valuable asset to me, now you'll be in my circle.
Okay. So you basically have people who can, if they can accomplish something like fulfilling a need for you, then that's how they would build that connection.
Correct. 100%. That's how it always works. Because rich people, they don't want more money. They need trust. They need confidence. They need people to protect them. They need assets. They need, they know how to make money, right? And most people come in and slide into my DMs, and you know what they tell me? How can I be of value to you? Wrong question. Next.
Okay.
Let me figure out this camera shit.
Yeah. I want the camera on.
This is. I'll tell you what the right question is. Just give me a second. I don't know if my shit overheated or something. Give me a second.
Yeah. No worries. Take your time. When will Capital Club open? Some good questions, guys. Some good questions here.
Did this shit come back?
No, not yet. Maybe try to just reset it quick.
Let me, there we go.
There we go.
All right, we're back. What's the question?
Okay, so at this very moment, would you rather live in the United States or a third world country where you can dominate the amount of wealth? Something like that.
Right now, the US, 100%. I need to make more money first.
Okay.
A couple more 100 million.
So what you're saying is basically you make more money when you're in the US.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's a question for me. It's right now my level of comfort is a place where I want to be, but I do have plans to
Mhm.
not be here forever. But yeah, all in due time. First, people got to know how to make money. Then you got to worry about where to move and things like that. But if you're thinking safe haven, uh, I would look at places like Portugal. That would be my first to go to for everybody. Let's see.
Portugal.
We had one question. I forget what it was.
Yeah, you can pick the questions, by the way. Go for it.
Luke, if someone wants to change today, where do you start? What is the best thing to do to change to be better tomorrow if we were stuck in the matrix? Do you have a specific starter book? Okay, so I guess the person just hopped in.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, The Magic of Thinking Big. Buy that book, brother. Wish you the best.
There you go. You want to pick a couple more questions?
Yeah, let's do 2 more questions, and I'm out of here because I'm gonna go have some more food. Discipline is for losers. Explain. My idea of discipline is when people think about discipline, right? They think about punishment because every time that you did something wrong in school or with your parents, you got what?
Disciplined.
Disciplined. So there's a negative connotation just in the word itself. And discipline doesn't mean, your ability to not perform or to do what you said you're going to do. But I like to call it self-regulation. Your ability to regulate yourself. Discipline and self-regulation are 2 completely different things, right? Like you need to be able to regulate yourself, regulate your emotions, regulate your physique, regulate your hours of work, and be in control of that. Discipline, I associate discipline with punishment, right? Like, oh, you go to the gym. Oh, you got to go to the gym. But what if you just learn to enjoy to go to the gym, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you make that a habit and you self-regulate it and you understand that it's a necessity, that it's a flow. Can you still see me or am I paused?
You paused. Yeah, let me. Yeah.
Might be an internet thing. It should work though.
Okay. It went back to
Might
the
be,
webcam
yeah,
thing.
it might be a StreamYard thing. I'm not too sure. Let's see here.
No
Yeah, but
worries.
it's not a big deal. I think that's a good little wrap up, brother. I think that gives us a good introduction to kind of what's trying to be built. And yeah, my hope is that you guys leave better than you came. That is the goal. So give me a little 1 in the chat if you're leaving better today than you were yesterday.
Drop the ones, and thank you so much, Luke. Like you're a legend. We definitely need to have you on again. With we'll have a better setup. We'll have some nice stuff going on. Definitely. So, are you gonna be in my Discord? Can people hit you up there? Can people hit you up on your Instagram? What Capital Club? Do you want to plug your stuff real quick so people know how to tap in with you?
Yeah, so just at Luke Belmar on Instagram and
I'll
at
put the
Luke
Instagram.
Belmar, and then at Luke Belmar on YouTube. I'll be going live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be covering some content and stuff that I want to share with you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, go check out Luke. And thank you guys for tuning in. And Luke, thanks again, man.
Sounds good,
Enjoy
brother.
your food,
Appreciate you.
brother. Talk to
Thank
you
you. Have a
soon,
wonderful
G.
evening. Bye.
You too, man. Peace out.